Hey there, it's Jim Schneider from the Frisco Soccer Association. Wanted to record a quick video for some of the new players that have joined the team. We play 9v9 in the Frisco Soccer Association for U12 girls. And what we do is we play a formation that's 3-3-2. Whenever you're talking about soccer formations, you always start from the back. That means we play 3 defenders, 3 midfielders, 2 forwards. Now, one of the things that you'll notice and you want to talk about with your daughter is that we also number our positions. Makes it to where everybody knows their assignment and knows their role. So the way that we start is from the top, let's say. 1 and 2 are the forwards. 1 is on the left, 2 is on the right. 3 and 4 are the outside midfielders. 5 is in the middle. Then we do 6, 7, and 8. 6 and 7 are on the outsides. 8 is in the middle. Okay? So what that means is that, and you'll see a little bit later, but when we're going this way, this is kind of if the ball is up in the goal, in the area the goalie has it. These defenders would probably be pushed up a little bit, but you'll see this a little bit later, how we're structured. So when we are doing kickoffs, this is important. We haven't had the opportunity to do a lot with the girls on this yet, but this is the way we're structured. We have the 1 and 2 on the outside, so the forwards are on the outsides. Then the outside midfielders push in order to take the kick. Then 5, who is the center midfielder, is behind them to help support. So here's what we do on kickoffs, is that 3 and 4 can pass the ball back and forth to each other, move it out to 1, they can pass it back to 5. The biggest thing we ask is we do not want the girls kicking it just at the other team or blasting it at the other team. We don't do that. That's not the way that we do things. Now, when it's time for us to defend a kickoff, meaning the other team has a kick, this is the way that we're set up. 1 and 2 are on the outsides. 3 and 4 kind of pinch in a little bit to clog up the middle and prevent kind of the quick strike. So if the ball is kicked outside, one's got to go out on the short side. If it's kicked out this way, one's got to go up and attack. So if they kick it back this way, one's got to attack. If it's over this way, two's got to attack. If they kick it over here, 6 has got to move over. Same with 7. Turn the ball and try to get it back up the field. So those are some of the things that we do. Now let's talk a little bit about the offense. And also what the defenders might do. So position 1, the dotted line is really the priority area. The red line is kind of the restricted space. We want to keep the person that's on the left side and the forward up in this area. And we really don't want them crossing back to midfield or past the center field. Past the center line into the other side of the field. We really want them pushing up, keeping the defenders deep. And the same thing with position 2 on the other side of the goal. There may be times, of course, where they come back to get the ball and other stuff, but we really want them pushing up. Then also 6 is on defense, should really always be pushing out away from the goal, and especially the goalie, with the only exception when we're like staggering against the ball, and we'll show you that in a couple seconds. But 6 is always on the right side of the goalie, and 7 does the same thing, just on the left side. And the defenders really should never cross midfield on the offensive side of the ball, really, because we want to guard against the quick counterattack. So I talked a little bit about the staggered defense, and this is the way that it works. So when you've got, say the ball's coming down the right-hand side of the field, this is the way that we would do it. 6 would attack, be the first person with 8 and 7 supporting. Kind of the idea is that we really want to force the ball this way into the field instead of, and maybe also trying to pinch the ball coming down this way. But this way, what happens is that if the ball comes here and there's other players that are coming through the middle, 6, 7, and 8 can guard against the pass through, but really backs it up. The other is that if the ball is coming down the center of the field, what happens is 8 goes forward to cover off on that. And then they lead the attack, and 6 and 7 can kind of cramp in the middle, almost like a pyramid, so that if the ball goes by, 6 can then jump in and attack as well. So that's kind of the concept that we use on that. Now, when we're talking about the outside midfielders, 3 and 4, this is kind of their space. They got a lot of field to cover, so they do a lot of running. But if we're successful, this is, they're scoring. Like 4 is right here, and they're playing it, and if not, then they're playing a lot of defense. So the yellow is really their zone that we want them to own, but we also want to make sure that they do come back to get the ball and then take it up the field. Let's talk about the 5 position, kind of the center mid. This is really a valuable spot. Think kind of point guard for basketball. You know, this is really where your stronger players that pass the ball really well, have a lot of speed, and also can really have that endurance to keep going. This is where your players, your better players kind of tend to live in this spot because they control everything. They can score a lot of goals. And we really need them to control this big area in the middle. But here's the biggest thing to think about is if we are doing our job, this is the way we should look on offense. You know, the ball is up here and you got 2 coming in this way, 4, 3, 5 are all just really attacking. And this is really what it should look like. And then, also if we're covering, these are kind of the way that the zones look for everybody. 1 should really be up here pushing up. 3 should be here, this kind of general area. And then 6 and 7, and then 8, covers the middle with 5 covering here too. So those are the priority of the areas. We hope that helps. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to Coach Chris or to me. And we look forward to seeing you out on the field. Hopefully this helps.